Hi, welcome to the orchard. We're looking at why nutrients need to be available but not soluble. If you have a nutrient which is in the ground, which is soluble, it's rapidly rinsed away, and conventional fertilizers are often lost. Much of their nutrient value is lost as leachate into the water systems, and that causes pollution of aquifer, etc. In a regenerative system, we use fertilizers, we use foliar feeds during the summer, which are rapidly absorbed or taken up by the bacteria and fungi in the soil, so they're not leached easily. But in the winter, we use our mineral rock dusts, which we talk about, which are not actually soluble. And we also rely on minerals which are in the soil, which are also insoluble. And when I've been preparing this new area, I've dug out this piece of chalk, which is very ancient and was formed millions of years ago, and it's remained in the soil as it is because it's been weathered very, very slightly. Now, what's interesting is how nutrients like calcium are actually available. And I can demonstrate this with a little experiment, which is quite simple. This is just ordinary spring water, and if we put it into this jar, you'll see what happens when I put some of the chalk in, which is, it doesn't really do a lot. Initially a couple of bubbles have come off, but basically nothing's happening, because that's what happens to chalk in the soil. If it encounters rainwater, it doesn't dissolve. But plants need a lot of calcium. So how do they get it? So if I just repeat the experiment, I'll add a little bit more chalk just to help. And I'll put in this, which is white vinegar, which is a low pH, obviously, very acidic material, and it's an organic acid, very similar to the sort of acid that's secreted by the bacteria and the fungi which we rely on in the soil. And immediately you start to see what happens, which is that you can see it's dissolving into the solution. It's becoming available. That hundreds of millions of years old material is suddenly releasing its calcium, and that's precisely the mechanism that we rely on in the soil with our bacteria and fungi. And that's how that chelating is happening, and it's making the calcium very available to the plant.